This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
And boom!
Common man, no show prep, no solid plan. Spins a yarn, begins a tale. The esoteric approach won't fail. Tune in, it's time for Common Man. Common man, charms the housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? Where'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in, it's time for Common Man.
You've got to be kidding me.
Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello?
You say?
I just want to say, you doubted us, but now we're here.
Into deep left center for Mitchell, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
And Peyton Manning takes the knee for the third straight time, and that should do it, folks. The final score of Super Bowl 41, the Colts 29, the Bears 17, and look at the pandemonium from the Indianapolis sideline down here in Miami. Colts spilling onto the field. Oh, and there we go, the Gatorade bath for Coach Tony Dungy, and it's Mike Doss supplying the Gatorade bath. Good to hear from Mike Doss tonight as the Colts are your Super Bowl 41 champions.
Sorry, KFAN.
There's only one way to beat us. Starts with the C and ends with a T.
The Lions are roaring in Green Bay.
A dog with a note in his mouth should be able to sell those ratings.
I've seen enough out of Cousins, Paul. Put him on ice.
Hello. Okay, hold on.
Stop!
I'm a fraud.
Yes.
He's the clown from Brown.
He's the clown from Brown. He's the fourth in the north. This is the common man, Dan Cole.
Hey, a little of this, a little of that, with the emphasis on the lads. I'm the common man, Dan Cole. He's tend to be mummified, fossilized lips attached to a Neumann. One of these days, a lot of things going on right now. The Twins, they salvaged one game of a 3-game series against one of the worst teams ever assembled in the history of Major League Baseball. Minnesota Vikings. The kids are reporting to camp, and we'll be there on Wednesday. Wednesday is when we'll be there as we kick off the 2025-2026 season like nobody else can. Scottie Scheffler, all he does is win, and all he does is take the drama out of another major tournament. With those and so many other topics to get to, I'm not sure where to begin today, so we'll leave it to the wheel of topic. We're broadcasting live from Hazeltine.
Commons golf game.
I don't mind talking about my golf game. I don't like talking about myself.
What'd you shoot today?
I shot a 7 over 80, 8-0.
Where'd we play?
I played at Loggers Trail.
Where'd you hit it on one?
Right up the gut.
Second shot?
I hit a poor 7-iron left into that little grassy collection area.
Then what?
Hit a decent pitch, didn't take the dew into account. That was my fault. It kind of it checked up a little more than I thought it would. So instead of having like a kick-in par, I had to try to make one from about 8-10 feet.
Then what?
Missed it. But I birdied the 2 par 5s on the front side, both with bombs, too, like 20 feet on 2. Then I knocked in a 35-footer on 9. I hit the ball better. I'm driving the ball again with some authority. My putter on Saturday, Sunday, and Mondays is, when I talked about being able to putt better than 50% of the players on tour, it was 75 on Saturday. I mean, I couldn't miss everything. And even today I hit I don't 3-putt much anymore. Now that can change. I get it. But at least right now I'm in a spot where it's real nice. So I played well. Things are trending in the right direction. And I'm glad you asked.
You're welcome.
Yeah, because I figured that's what you would probably...
That's what I wanted to know after this weekend.
Well, I think you did. Was absolutely.
First and foremost on my mind.
Yeah, it is first and foremost on your mind. There are a number of topics that I do want to get to, but a training camp is... We used to never go to training camp. We went that one time. We recanted that tale many times. Is when we started to start worried about our place in the Twin Cities radio hierarchy. So they decided they wanted all the shows to get down to Mankato as often as they could. They asked you and I if we would go. We said, sure. We don't mind. We'd never been asked before. They never wanted us down there. So we made the trip down to Mankato Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, regardless of what day it was, and we decided we'd play the Mankato Country Club. Yeah, and it was fun, and we both, you hit a lot of balls right. I think I played pretty well that day. I mean, I wasn't brilliant or anything, but I played pretty well. It was a lot of fun, and we get to training camp, and the first thing that happens is it's a break for lunch, right, when we're about to start, right? So there's and it's on the campus of Minnesota State University, which has it always been MSU? Is that what it's been anyway? We're down there.
It was Mankato State. Then it was turned into Minnesota State Mankato.
Okay, that's right. Okay, so it's Mankato State. So we're on campus, and we were going to go over to the practice field. We went and got our credentials inside wherever credential headquarters was in one of the buildings in the school. And we were going to cross the road from one building, cross the road and go over to the practice field. It's like a ghost town. It's like, have you ever watched those old West movies when two guys are going to have a showdown in the middle of the middle of Main Street? And man, everybody just scatters, right? And everybody's just peeking out windows. I mean, it's just death. You just see a tumbleweed rolling across from the saloon over to the tack and saddle shop as the two guys are, walking down facing each other. And they're going to, it's a shootout at the OK Corral, right? It was just like that. There's nobody there. It's just deathly quiet. There's no cars. There's no people. And you and I start to cross the road to go over to the practice field. And some security guy goes, "Hey, what are you doing?" Well, we're going to the practice. You can't go there. You got to walk all the way down the sidewalk to this crossing. And I kind of look around and I go, well, you're not serious, are you? I mean, no, I am serious. That's the rules, or whatever he said. Yeah. And so we had to walk all the way down to get there. And we did. And I think the NFL Network was NFL Network there too.
NFL Network was there. We had to share a broadcast location with them.
Yeah, and they weren't real happy with us because I'm pretty loud. And so, and of course, we were just having the normal tomfoolery, skullduggery, and such like that. We had a player mic'd up for sound, and he kept fumbling the football. We had so much fun that day. And I thought we did a bang-up job. We were both pleased with our performance that day because... I
thought it was a great show.
It was a really good show. I mean,
we had the Adrian Peterson fumble bet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We had a player mic for sound. That was the... Yeah, that's what I was saying. And so it worked out really well. And we get back to the station, let's say it was Monday, it was Tuesday. We get called into the office and they go, "What the hell was that all about?" "What do you mean?" "Well, that was an awful show you guys did. Why did you know?" "What do you mean?" "That's just what we normally do. We're just having fun." "Where were the interviews?" "Well, nobody was provided to us." "Well, why?" Then they actually
We had one guest.
Yeah, and then they said, "Why didn't Tennessee go down there early with a cassette deck and a microphone and record interviews.
I always love that one.
And I started to laugh. I said, well, then how would he have been able to play golf? That's the reason we agreed. It was a trade out.
Yeah.
We'll go down there and broadcast, but we're going to play golf. I thought that was understood. I mean, I don't even think it needed to be said. Well, what did you think we were going to do? They wanted us, because we were kind of worried about our lot in life at that time, that they wanted us to do this hardcore, welcome to Trident Camp. We got 10 interviews here. We're going to have all these interviews and do X's and O's and sabermetrics and analytics. It's like, well, we don't do that kind of a radio show.
And if you want us to do that, probably should tell us before we go down there.
And so that was the first and last time we ever went to Mankato to do a training. No! Now, 15 minutes. I love it because it's 15 minutes from my house. It's much. I had to ask you, though, if we were on today or Wednesday or whatever. I know he sent me a schedule, but I can't find it. Plus, we changed it a couple of times. Like, for instance, we were supposed to be there next Monday, but that was because someone had inadvertently forgot that we're going to be at Hazeltine next Wednesday for the Federated Insurance golf tournament, which is seriously, it's as big a fundraiser as they've raised millions and millions, yes, of dollars for Big Brothers Big Sisters. So we'll be there on Monday. But anyway, so we will.
Will they let me go in the practice area and hit a couple balls before the show, or I'm still not?
Yeah, no,
because I'm not a member.
No, they'll let you because it's open to the people that are playing in the tournament.
Okay.
You just tell me. You'll be able to. When you get there, I played there Saturday. You won't. They've got now. They've built a 9 or 10 hole short course right when you drive in. If you look at your right, there's a new golf course there. It's like an executive course, and then they have these. There are 6 of them. They are these. They're like little miniature. They're called villas. They're like little miniature townhomes, and they've been rented out to some Fortune 500 companies so that they can bring their friends and family to stay on the golf course and play. And they get all sorts. From what I understand, they paid a lot of money to have access to those too. So it's anyways, but we'll be there. It should be fun. You can hit knockdown, punch, cut, fade, draws all day if that's what you'd like to do. Let's do this. Let's take a break. We'll come back. Peek at the purple. The purple are starting to gain some traction with the experts around the country. We got some rankings today that are going to knock your socks off.
They may be of interest to you.
Yeah, they might be of interest to you. So we'll do that. Other side of the break, Affordable Electric brings you Peek at the Purple. Plenty of other things to get to, including tend to be as a keyword.
The Fan and BigDeck.com want to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with their national cash contest. Enter the keyword cash at KFAN.com now for your shot at winning. That keyword is cash. Enter now at KFAN.com.
You're listening to The Fan.
Get ready, Minnesota. Comedian Jordan Klepper is bringing the laughs to the Fillmore on December 14th with the Suffering Fools Tour. One night only, high energy, big laughs, no filter. Tickets are available now. Get all the details at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
Think about they're not going to filter anything he says. It's going to be controversial. Should be good. The Fillmore. Never worked the Fillmore and probably never will. They doubted me. They said I'd never worked the Fillmore, and they're absolutely right. Time for Peek at the Purple. Brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. If you're a journeyman electrician looking for a new home, they're looking for help at Affordable Electric. Competitive wages. They've got benefits. They've got you get a truck. It's pretty cool. Reach out to them today. Affordable-electric.com. Affordable-electric.com. Remember, they are shockingly affordable. Something called Sharp Football Analysis. Razor sharp. Razor sharp. They've ranked the front 7 for all 32 teams for 2025. Ooh. So you know me.
We've had some changes there.
Well, yeah, and when you know me, generally when I'm looking for anything Minnesota sports related in a ranking. I start at the bottom and work my way to the top. That was a mistake here.
Really?
Well, yeah, because I'm, at Falcons, Titans, Saints, Panthers, Cardinals, Jaguars, Packers at 25. That's delicious. Wait, hold on. That's simply
25.
Bengals, Commanders, Patriots, Bucks, Chargers, and then the Bears at 20. So I'm thinking, well, the Vikings must be coming up soon, but no, it's Dolphins, Rams, Colts, Chiefs, Ravens, Niners, Raiders, Cowboys, Seahawks.
Okay.
I'm like, there was no reason for that. I just thought I'd throw it. Then there's the Kitties at 10, and I'm thinking, well, that must.
Can you say Packers at 25 and then hit the button again?
Packers at 25. Lions at 10. And then there must be a tie because they have at 8, Eagles, Bills, Jets at 7, Browns at 6. I'm waiting for it.
Wow, we're top 5.
Texans at 5, Giants at 4, Steelers at 3, Broncos at 2. Your soon-to-be big game world champion Minnesota Vikings, according to Sharp Analysis, has the best front 7 in the National Football League.
Oh my gosh.
It says the biggest mover across our entire rankings was the Minnesota front 7, which jumped 24 spots to number 1 this year.
Wow.
The Vikings added both Jonathan Allen and Jason Hargrave to a defensive front that finished
Javon
6th.
Hargrave.
No, what did I say, Jason? Javon Hargrave to a defensive front that finished 6th in pressure rate and 4th in sacks last season. And somebody's got to be number 1, right? I must admit I'm surprised, and I don't know why. Because I can't name all 7 on the front 7 of any team in the National Football League. I don't even think I could get the Vikings right. But it surprises me when the Vikings or any of the local teams get these glossy ratings. But if you do look, I mean, they were pretty good last year, as the paragraph pointed out. And you had a couple of players that they have proven themselves. Now, again, I think both are coming off injuries, I think. And both, I think, are a little long in the tooth, but that's okay, too. I mean, sometimes veteran savvy is even better than youthful exuberance, right? So, and we know B-Flow is highly regarded by not only the players on his team, but I think he garners a lot of respect league-wide and with fans, too, and media and fans. So, and you tend to be, I've made this perfectly clear. When it comes to sports is your whole life just sports. And it really doesn't matter, regardless of the sport. I like defense. I believe that old adage, that old cliche that defense wins championships. And I really believe it does. Not always. I mean, sometimes a really good offense can overpower a really good defense, or a defense has an off game or off series and it doesn't work. And if both teams have a really good defense, well, then all bets are off. But I just like when the other team, especially in football, because it seems you can frustrate people so quickly. Let's say you win the toss, you defer, you kick off to the other team, and they got a 3-and-out right away. They can't get anything going, right? Try a running play, bam, stopped at the line, no gain. Try a little pass, incomplete, he's covered, they can't even get the ball to him, and then a sack. And all of a sudden, you're punting the ball, and then your offense comes on the field. And let's say your offense goes out there, puts a nice drive together, gets at least 3-0. You're 7 minutes into the game, the other team's had 3 plays. They do it again, 3-and-out. Now it's 2 series, and they've been 3-and-out. Frustrates them. Then all of a sudden they have to start changing their game plan a little bit after a while, right? Especially if you go down and score more. So it's pretty simple. And so if, the front 7's one thing. Our secondary still leaves we still have some question marks there. Would you agree?
Lots of question marks.
Lots of question marks. So you can have
we have a starting cornerback right now that I know he's getting like rave reviews and OTAs and stuff, but like he barely was on the field last year.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we'll see how it goes.
And what I find about interesting about the front 7, according to Sharp Football, as you mentioned, number 1 ranked front 7 in all of football. Yet, is there one guy in that list that would be considered a top 50, top 75 player in the National Football League? Right? I know we haven't gotten through the entire NFL.com top 100, but I think Van Ginkel just got towards the end of it, and I guess possible Grenard's name might pop up, but like I think we have lots of quality players, but there's not necessarily a superstar in that entire bunch.
You're only as good as the sum of your parts. Is that an old saying I just made up? And I don't even know if that applies. I don't even know what that means. I think I do, but yeah, you're right. It's not as though, you look at some teams and we
don't have a TJ Watt carrying the load for us,
or a Aiden Hutchinson, or a Fred Warner. Yeah, right. We don't have those kinds of names. We really don't, and that's all right too. We've got B-Flow.
But now with our two new guys on the interior of the defensive line, assuming they stay healthy, we don't really have like a weakness there anymore.
That is correct.
Last year, as he mentioned, they were ranked like 24th, 25th at this point a season ago. That's because we really didn't know what we were getting out of Grenard and Van Ginkel. Dallas Turner was a rookie, and the interior defensive line might have been one of the biggest weaknesses on the team. All of a sudden, you go out and address that in free agency. Grenard and Van Ginkel, I think, were way better than anyone would have imagined. And you hope Dallas Turner put on some muscle in the offseason, and he can help out now as well.
Yeah.
And Cashman was a great find. Ivan Pace is solid in the run game.
When I think about Cashman, I think
straight up. Cash in, cash out, cash in, cash out, cash in, cash out, cash in, cash out, cash in, cash out.
Yeah, I do think about Cashman. So, yeah. That's nice to see as we head into and again, it's just a list. It's probably one guy's opinion, right? They say I don't know. What is it? What is the name of the website again? Sharp something or other?
Sharp Football.
Sharp Football Analysis. I don't know. Is there one guy working there out of his basement, right? Or is it hundreds of thousands of hundreds of thousands of people that are breaking stuff down? But still, are the Vikings? How many other so-called football experts would rank the Vikings as the best top 7 going in the league? I don't know, but I do think it looks good on paper. We always like to say, I love to, and I didn't preface this segment with it, but I'll do it now. If it's preface, it's, I don't know what's after preface? Review us. It's all on paper. We'll have to see when they really play. We'll get a good look at it.
I would like them to now project offensive line rankings for all 32 teams, because there have been some after they made the move said, this is top 5 offensive line now. We might have the best trenched team, a combination of any team in the National Football League.
Yeah, Sharp Football Analysis. Have they ranked the offensive lines yet?
I could go look.
Why don't we look and see? Maybe they've ranked us as the best team in pro football, but we'll get a better look at it firsthand. Live from training camp. We'll be broadcasting there on Wednesday. Hope you'll be with us noon to 3 right here on the Fan.
Get ready. Comedian Nate Bargatze is bringing 2 nights of laughs to Xcel Energy Center. Don't miss out on the hilarity when he takes the stage on Saturday, July 26th and Sunday, July 27th with the Big Dumb Eyes World Tour. Limited tickets are still available. Get all the details now at KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
A lot of negativity out there, a lot of doubters. Well, it's not even a wet blanket Wednesday yet either. It's just another manic Monday. It's just my fun day. No, that's Sunday. Here's a text message that came via the Bradshaw and Bryant KFAN text line. The Holla hotline was back yesterday. Worst case scenario made its triumphant return. The name.
Oh, boy.
Deuce was listening to it, and I caught bits and pieces of it. It's the first time I've listened to this radio station in probably 20 years. The name's appropriate. Worst case scenario. However, this one says, man, common antenna, I think PA and Nordo must be sitting in for you guys today. We didn't say that they had the best front 7 in football. That was Sharp Analysts. We didn't say, matter of fact, I said on paper. I said, I like the look of the club, but I'm certainly not. My guess is when PA gets back, if he does bring this up, he will say it's spot on. Matter of fact, it's possible PA might be part of Sharp Analysts. I don't know. Here's another comment. So some rando sports site looks at a group of players that have never played together and says they're the number 1 defensive front in the NFL, But then they look at J.J. McCarthy, who's never played an NFL game, and says because of that, we can't count on him for anything. He's probably worth about 7 or 8 wins. Oh, the tangled webs we weave. Yeah, I know. I get it. Now, this is from Mike in New Richmond. I think that's in Wisconsin. I think he's a Packers fan. But anyway, right. Well, none of it we don't know. I mean, all these. Look, before the season starts, Tenneby, Rosen, and I are going to do. I think that, I'll say something to the effect of I think it'll be the Vikings and the Falcons in the NFC Championship game, and you're on your own after that. Tenneby will predict what he thinks the record is. Rosen will do his, and it's just predictions. None of us know for sure. But anyway, and I asked you the question aloud: has Sharp Football released the rankings of the NFL offensive line for all 32 teams? And lo and behold, they have. You did some quick research.
Yeah.
And again, I started at the bottom, right?
Sure.
32 through 21.
Typically where our offensive line is.
That's exactly right. 32 through 21, no Minnesota Vikings. 20 through 11, no Minnesota Vikings.
Really?
I'm like, well, we got to be just inside the top 10, right? I had to go all the way down to the top 5, and that's where the Vikings are. They are the 5th ranked offensive line in the National Football League. Which, if anybody watched the Rams-Vikings playoff games, they'd say, they'd give you a PA, but they have made changes. But yeah, they've got them at them, and I don't know. They have a score, and I don't know over here. It probably explains how they come up with the scores. I'm not really concerned about that, but they have the Eagles as the top offensive line in football, and probably should, right? I mean, it's been well documented that the Eagles are very good, both offensive and defensive lines, and they put a premium on that. I think it's Howie, is it Roseman? I think he's their general manager, and if you look back at his drafts, they take a lot of offensive linemen. They never stop. Even if they have an offensive line, they keep grabbing them. And I think that's probably sound strategy. Broncos at 2, Motor City Kitties at 3, though. I don't know if this was done before the announcement of the retirement of, was it Glasnow or Ragnow? Or Glasnow? It was either Ragnow or one of them. Their starting center, gone, done. He's retired. And then they lost Zeitler to free agency, so... I don't know how good the lines are, but they still have when you got Penny Sewell on one side, that's pretty good. So they still.
I did see that the Taylor Decker.
Yeah.
That he just had some shoulder work done, surgery. It sounds like he's going to be okay, but
that's it.
The way the Lions offseason is going, I'm not getting good vibes with that team.
I tend to agree, and that's
it's not going the right direction.
This 2025 has disaster written all over it. Buccaneers at number 4, and then the soon-to-be big game world champion Minnesota Vikings are at number 5. And here's what it says about your Viking offensive line. The offensive line was another top 5 unit this year, moving up 4 spots in our rankings from last year. How were they 9th last year? Well, I guess they were all right.
Until the last 2 weeks, they were. I thought the offensive line was pretty good all year.
Yeah. Minnesota should feature 3 new starters on the interior of their line after spending a first-round pick on Donovan Jackson and signing Ryan Kelly and Will Fries in free agency. So here's what it says about the lines. It says their line fell 2 spots in this year's rankings from 1st to 3rd, partly due to center Frank Ragnow's surprising retirement announcement. Lions also lost starting guard Kevin Zeitler in free agency. Glasgow's been a starting interior lineman for a decade, but he hasn't played center full-time since 2018, and that's where he's moving to. Rookie second-round pick Tate Ratledge will also be counted on to step up, likely getting the first crack at the center job on the bright side. The Lions will have a pair of Pro Bowl tackles on the outside. I thought it was Glasgow was going to be the center, not Ratledge, but whatever they decide to do, they have talented players, but anytime there are changes, that's even like with the Vikings. We talked about it. It's all on paper. We've got no idea, but. I do say that I will say this. I feel a little more comfortable about their offensive line at the beginning of the season this year than last year, though, as you pointed out, it was pretty good last year. But I think we
had Darrisaw out for most of the year last year, too.
Right, that is correct. I think most Viking fans have always had a little fear and trepidation when it comes to the Vikings offensive line over the past handful of years, maybe even a bit more than that. Open Championship. I got a lot of yard work done yesterday, Tennessee. I'm just telling you, I don't wish ill will on Scottie Scheffler, but I was kind of rooting against him a little bit.
I was too.
Yeah, because you want the drama, right? I don't care if he wins. I would just like to have seen it where he made that one double on, I believe it was 6. Let's say he makes a couple more bogeys, and now it's a 2-shot lead going into the backside. Then it's fun. Then you go, maybe a guy behind him now says, okay, I got to make a run right now. But it really was never in doubt, and and maybe the 2 clutch moments where he made 2 long par putts, a couple of 15-footers. One was a 15, one was maybe right around that same thing. Making those clutch putts when you really need to make them, and he had one. I think it was the 6th hole. Yeah,
where at the time he was up 6 strokes, I think. Right, like he had a huge lead.
That's where he made the double, where he hit the lip on the bunker.
Okay, so maybe I'm thinking of a different hole. There was one hole early on where he had like a 20-foot putt to save par.
He needed the fist bump.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, he's up 6, but if anyone ever has a chance to coming back in this round today, like Scottie can miss this, he can go 1 stroke back to the back. He hits the 20-foot putt. I'm like, all right, it's over already. Yeah. I don't even need to keep watching.
He made the I think it was 6. He made the double. You could be right on the putt, but he made a double bogey that cut it to 4.
Yeah.
You were thinking, oh, okay, but then he came right back and birdied the next hole.
Yes,
and
put it in tight.
Well, matter of fact, from the very first hole, so he's got a 4-shot lead over Lee, right? Haotong, and he hits it into like 3 feet, 4 feet, just a brilliant shot. Then Scottie hits it into like a foot. Yeah. And you're like, oh, I see. Okay. In other words, he was basically telling Haotong, don't get too excited. You're playing for a second. And he even said, was it before the...
It was after the round 3, yeah.
After round 3, he goes, well, it's great, but I think I'll play for a second. And I don't think that meant... I think there'd be some people that would say, well, that's a bad attitude to have. You understand? So I think that he was just being honest, and I'm sure he was trying because stranger things have happened. I think those of us that have followed golf for a long time, you have to go all the way back to 1996 when Greg Norman had a 6-shot lead going into the final round of the Masters. He's playing with Faldo, and he shot a 78, and he lost by, I think it was 3 to Faldo. So it can happen. You can fritter away a lead in a real hurry, but Scottie Scheffler's not Greg Norman, and he was brilliant again. He's the comparisons to Woods. I'm one of those guys where. I'm always a little leery to start comparing people to all-time greats. It's like let's calm down. All these they do with Anthony Edwards. He started to look like Michael Jordan. It's like, wait, whoa, time out. Time out. Michael Jordan might be the greatest basketball player of all time. We got a kid that's been playing for 2-3 years, and he was already getting comparisons to Michael Jordan. It's like, now maybe that will end up being true. But this, comparing Scheffler to Woods and well, I mean, come on, but I think we still have a ways to go, right? I mean, I suppose he could all of a sudden, because remember Spieth? Spieth was supposed to be, he won like 3 majors in like a 2-year period, right? And everybody, Jordan Spieth is going to be the next great player. He's going to add his name to the list of the pantheon of great players, of the Palmers, and the Nicklauses, and the Hogans, and all, and the Woodses, and all those others. And he's just a shell of his former self now. Maybe Jordan Spieth will recapture something here sooner or later, but I don't see it coming. And you can say the same, even McIlroy. It was a 10-year drought before he finally got another major when he won the green jacket. So sometimes when you start heaping praise on someone and predicting greatness, you got to take a time out. But Scheffler is but
even McIlroy, like he's one of the greatest players of all time, and even him, he's just basically like admitting and acknowledging, this guy's just too good.
Yeah. At least for now. I mean, he kind of couched that by saying for the last couple of years, he's been at this level and he is hard to get. I'm sure McIlroy, and I think he can. I mean, it's McIlroy and a couple others that you would say, okay, going toe to toe. Because Scottie doesn't win every major. It's obvious. He didn't win the Masters this year. McIlroy won it, and he didn't win the U.S. Open. So he doesn't win them all. But he certainly is, without question, the best player in the world. There's a handful of others that can push him, but it sure isn't It sure isn't many guys.
Since the beginning of 2020, he has been 111 under par in majors, 46 shots better than anyone else in that span.
Think about that. I mean, those numbers are astonishing. And he does it. He's calm, cool, and collected. I know there are some people that say he's rather boring.
He's bland.
He's very bland.
He's blanded.
He's like you. He's very blanded. But that's okay too. I mean, I think he's got a friendly personality. But yeah, he's not you got a little bit spoiled by Woods because he was very emotional out on a golf course.
Yeah.
I mean, fist pumping all the time and doing all those kinds of things. Some players do that, some don't. I don't like to talk about myself, but I'll make an exception here. Now, and again, I'm not comparing myself to them as golfers, but like if I make a great putter hole out, I'm not a fist pumping guy. You would think I would be. You think, well, Common's going to be demonstrative, and I just don't do that. It's not. I don't know why, but I'm just not a guy. If I bomb in a 30-foot putt for a 10 like Tennessee did, I'm not going to fist pump. It's not that big of a deal. And Scottie,
what if it was for a $5 million purse and you had 20,000 people cheering you on? Then maybe you might.
But I mean, Scottie did do when he made that 15-foot par putt. He did a fist pump. He did a fist pump there, but he just does. He's not that guy. I mean, DeChambeau is another guy that if you like guys that, I mean, when he makes a putt, he's into it. So to me, it doesn't matter how a guy. I'm not a big fan of the football celebrations. The defense makes it a pick six, and every single guy on the team runs down to the other end zone, and they've got some choreographed celebration, and that's okay. I'm not saying it should be banned or you can't enjoy it. It just, for me, it just really elicits a yawn for me. And so it doesn't matter to me if a guy shows his emotions like that. And maybe that's what makes him so good is he's so even keel. And what's interesting is he's being, he's getting, they're about to do the trophy presentation, the Claret Jug, right? And so he's standing there, and the guy's, thanking all the fans and the grounds crew and all that. And I'm thinking, all Scottie's thinking about is, I wonder what's for dinner today. That's all he's thinking about is what's for dinner. And, going back to, people just seem to be astounded by his comments at the beginning of the tournament when he said it's just not that fulfilling. It's okay. I mean, and you know what? I should have thought of this at the time, and a couple of people reminded me, and I talked about it on Sunday or on Saturday on Tee to Green. You know what he basically did? He did the bit that I do that I got from Denny Green. That's what he meant. Remember when Denny said faith, football, faith, family, football. That football was third in his life. And so I took the bit and started doing faith, family, fairways, then frequency. Frequency being, we work on the radio. And for you would be faith, fairways.
Well, I'd put family there.
Oh, yeah, family.
Face-offs.
Face-offs. Yeah, faith, family, face-offs. With Chad Abbott, because he likes to hunt and fish, it was faith, family, fur, feather, and fins. And I don't know which order he would put them.
And pheasants, the other F.
The other F, that's exactly right. And pheasants. He's a pheasants forever kind of a guy. And that's what Scottie was basically saying was he's faith, family, and then fairways. Comes third. That's all he was saying. People seem to be astounded by that.
And he's so dominant. That's going to be so annoying to everybody else.
Yeah, it is. That's what I think is annoying to people. And people want those guys that eat, breathe, drink, and sleep. Like it seemed like like Woods and a lot of those other guys. That's all they crave. There are people that their work defines them, and that's who they are. And that's all good. But it takes every kind of people to make what life's about. And so that's just the way he approaches it, and that's cool too. I had somebody email me and say, "Just say it. It's his faith that does it." Well, we can't prove that. I can't prove that because there have been many athletes who have participated in the Fellowship of Christian Athletes that have never attained the heights that Scottie Scheffler has. It could be that his faith in a higher power does help him, and it might be the only reason why he is the way he is. But I'm not going to say, well, it's because of his faith is the reason he plays like he does and he's the best player in the world. That's probably part of it. I can't say it's 100%. If he wants to come out and say, the reason I play like I do is my faith in God, well, then I can say, well, maybe it's true then. But until he says that, And again, I don't think it can be proven either because, like I say,
Tim Tebow would have won a couple Super Bowls.
Well, that's
if that was
it.
the case.
That's a good example. I was trying to think of a guy, and that's the guy. Tim Tebow was a faith guy as much as there was, and he ended up having a very mediocre National Football League career. So,
do you think God has an impact on sporting events so he can bet the point spread?
Well, there's people have thought that. And then what side does God take? That's the thing. Who does he favor and who does
he hates this town? I'll tell you that
because there are probably other golfers that are. As a matter of fact, there are most of these athletes. They participate in Bible studies and prayer groups. You just don't hear about it because they don't make a big deal about it, and the media's not following it. But like you'll see after a football game, you'll see a handful of players all kneeling in the middle of the field in a circle, and they're all praying to for their religion, for their faith. That's what they're doing, and so that's all cool. So, I'm
guessing there's some guys that don't believe in God that are pretty good.
Yeah, well, that's true too.
I don't know Tiger Woods' faith. I've never heard it from him, but it doesn't come across as.
That's exactly right. So anyway, but he took the drama out of it. But it allowed me to get a lot of yard work done. I got the lawn mowed and some weeds pulled because.
But I was like you, where for the first time ever, I don't dislike Scottie Scheffler. No. I've never cheered against him. It's kind of hard to hate him. But I started watching yesterday. I was cheering against him. Yep. I'm just like, I don't care if he wins, but I want some drama, right? I want to spend the next 4 or 5 hours just invested in this and get a little bit of a roller coaster.
Just like the U.S. Open was when Sponzi won it. But if you'll remember, late in the final round, they had the rain delay. There were at one time, I think it was 5 players were all tied with a handful of holes to go. That's why we watch sports. I've said this before. I'm not a big fan of blowouts. I mean, if I have to witness a blowout, I'm hoping it's the team I want to win that's on the right side of that blowout. But that's why I've talked about. I like that this NFC North looks as though it's going to be a really competitive division. It looks like Lions, Tigers, Bears, oh my, Vikings, and Packers. All 4 teams, barring significant injuries. And, the injury bug is going to bite every team. It's just how severe for each team. I mean, obviously, if a starting quarterback, if a McCarthy, a Williams, a Goff, or a Love goes down, well, all bets are off. But health at the quarterback position and relatively healthy the rest of the way, this should be a division that we get to December. It should be great. It should be like there might be a game or two separating all 4 teams, and that's always fun. I mean, to me, I'd rather have a close division race. If it's got to be one team walking away with it, yeah, you want your team to do it. But I'd like and Scheffler he just makes and it was the putting again that if you'll remember, if he had any kind of weakness over the past few years, his putting could be shaky. As a matter of fact, if you look at the putting rankings. I saw him on the screen a couple of tournaments ago, or maybe it was early in the year, where I don't know how far he was down, but let's say it was like 125. Then he jumps to, 95 and then 80. And now I think he's near the top. And those 2 par putts he made, those are the ones that you see the other guys miss. You saw it yesterday. Guys said, and again, they weren't really in it, but they got that 8, 10 foot, 12 foot par putt and they just miss. It goes right. It goes left. And he just seems to bury all of them. And now
when he putts, he can't lose.
When he putts, he can't lose right now, and I don't know how that changes. I mean, a guy the wild card in it at the majors because he doesn't play on the regular tour is DeChambeau. I mean, he shoots 70. Was it 76 or 78 the opening day? He even said, "I really wanted to go home at that point." And then the next 3 days he blisters the golf course, including the final round where I think he shot a 64. Only 2 players shot a 64. It was DeChambeau and Scottie Scheffler. They were the only ones to shoot 64. Scottie's was on Saturday. And again, it is easier to go low when I'm out of this thing. So there's no fear or trepidation, but you still got to hit the shots. And so DeChambeau is a guy that when it comes to majors, I would never.
His ceiling is,
I would never count him out because he doesn't seem to really let a lot bother him other than his own scientific and, mad scientist kind of stuff. That's the only thing. I don't think he worries about the competition. I don't think he cares if people like Liv or don't like Liv. He's popular. The kids love him because he's doing a lot of that YouTube video stuff. He's got a social presence probably as big as anybody out there, and that's what the kids like. So he's the one guy, I think. And then, McIlroy, of course. McIlroy was good this weekend. He was really good. He just wasn't good enough. So, yeah.
Wyndham Clark kind of did the same thing that Bryson did, where he struggled around one and then had put 3 good rounds together, and he's coming to 3M Open this weekend.
Yes, he is. Well, it's a...
he's my favorite to win it now after seeing his last 3 rounds.
Well, your wife's favorite golfer committed. I broke that news on Saturday. Did you see that we broke that news?
I didn't see you broke it, but I saw that he was playing.
Yeah, I broke it on Saturday on Tee to Green. So just another story that I broke. I mean, I don't even try to sometimes because that's really not me. I don't like to draw attention to myself.
Is it just because he had a 2-day head start to Minnesota? Is that why he's playing?
I think it's because he needs the points.
Yeah, it didn't go well for him.
Yeah, and he needs the right. If he wants to get into that playoff thing or whatever it is, I think he needs the points. So, but Adam Scott will be. They got a good list. I mean, they don't have any of the top 10. They're not going to get those guys, but they've got. It's a nice field. It's the deepest field they've ever had. I'm going to be there. I'll be there Saturday for Tee to Green. We'll broadcast live from 10 until 12 noon from the Media Center. We'll take a break, come back. Tennessee's got 5-3-4. What you got?
Yeah, is Royce finally on a roll?
Got you.